Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
What's up, guys? This is Bobby from Saliva, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
The views and opinions of the guest do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather. And as always, I bring you guys awesome interviews, and today it is an honor and privilege to have Mr. Bobby, and I hope I pronounced his last name correct. If not, he's going to kill me for this, but Amaru. He's the vocalist.
Amaru.
Okay, Amaru.
It could be anything, though, man. It's all good. I mean,
he is the vocalist of Saliva.
I'm going to change my last name.
He is the vocalist of Saliva. They have a 10th studio album getting ready to come out, Love, Lies, and Therapy, out June 10th, which is today. So it comes out today. Bobby, thank you guys for your music. You're the new vocalist on this band. So this is your actual second album with Saliva. What's impressed you the most about making this new one?
I would say the last record, we really went into it with so many expectations and thinking, oh man, this is the first record, it's got to be great, it's going to be awesome. And I think we made some really cool songs, but it also, I think we kind of overthought and overshot some of it as well with all the expectations that we were thinking we needed. And, the problem with that record was it's just, we didn't have proper release, we didn't have proper label, we didn't have the proper things that you still as a band need to survive and still to get your music out there. So it was kind of it's the loss, man, and we kind of regrouped, figured it out, toured our butts off, and, then it was like, hey, why don't we make another record, and then we'll just, we'll shop it, and we'll see what happens. And we ended up we were trying to get the record done in like 6 weeks, but it got postponed a little bit because our guitar player had a pneumonia scare, and he was pretty much out of commission for a month. So we only had about a couple weeks, really. So we did 5 songs, got the 5 songs done, and that was it. And we hit the road for a couple months, and we knew that we were going to have to finish it at some point. So we kind of came back off the road and, did like a song here, a song there, and finally got it done. And Universal, we got in contact with them, and they, wanted to release the record and stuff. And it was just great, man. It's awesome feeling and, getting support from a label who knows what they're doing. And
for sure.
No stranger to, how this machine works. So
yeah.
So we're stoked about it, man. So you always want people to like your work and your craft. I mean, this is what we do. We make music, and you don't want people to go, oh wow, that's the worst shit I've ever heard. So you kind of have to, like, at the same time, just believe in what you're doing and write good songs, real lyrics, like shit that people can relate to. I think that's those are the songs that always win, no matter what.
You produced on this album, half of the album. Do you like this side of the music, or what's your take on this, man?
That's kind of the way it had to go. I mean, it was a self-produced record. I've done a lot of other projects and produced things and stuff, but nothing at this caliber, which I think is great. But I had a vision. I think we all had a vision. But at the same time, it was like, hey, let's just creative and not hold back. Let's put songs on this record that we want to put on the record, but still have some of the heavy elements, have the melodic elements as well, and just have emotion and depth, So I think there's a good balance. I think there's a lot for everybody, and that's the thing. And you got Trust, you got some of the heavier stuff like that, and you got Unshatter Me and Break It Down. It's like, I don't know about anybody else, but I mean, I definitely want girls buying our records. So it's like, I'm not afraid of that at all.
I say this all the time, and people think I'm crazy, but you'll get this when I say this because you're a musician. We get what you guys put on an album. We can feel what you guys are playing by just listening to that album if you get music. Mm-hmm. And people look at me like I'm crazy, so yeah, I definitely understand that, where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the thing is that's, as a listener, that's what you do. I mean, you hear the record, and it's like there's always an opinion. Either you like something or you don't like it. It's not like, well, I don't know if I don't like it or if I like it. It's like one of those things. It's like, you end up, I mean, you ever hear a song on the radio, and sometimes when you hear a song for the first time on the radio, you're always biased for some reason. I don't know why that is, but you're always like not sure about it because you're just like, oh, it's the first time I heard it. And then it's like you hear it the second time, and you're like, you didn't turn it yet, you know? And then it's like, by the time you hear it the third time, and then, you know, by the 300th time, you're probably sick of it. But at the same time, I mean, that's the kind of the way repetition, you know. But if you don't like something, you'll immediately know, like I think, and then you'll just like, all right, I hate that song, not listening to it ever again. But, you know, we just try to write, you know, real, you know, stuff that people can relate to, and it doesn't matter what kind of music's behind it, man. It can be heavy and still relate to it, or it can, you know, you don't have to write a ballad to get the point across.
Bobby, for you, are there any songs off this new album that stand out a little more than some to you?
I would say the Michael Jackson cover that we did, They Don't Care About Us. Yeah. It's definitely one of those songs that it's just completely like left field, man. Like, but it's heavy and it's cool, and I think it's like it's something that people won't expect. But I think when they hear it, I think it's definitely kind of a game changer for the record. You know, trust me, there's a lot of great songs on this record, man. You know, and I am just happy as shit to be a part of them and able to, you know, create and, you know, do that. But that song, something about it, I think just, you know, like anyone we've played it for, like on our bus or whatever, when we were like traveling touring, they hear that and like eyebrows raised, like, holy shit, man, that's completely just different, you know? So
what do you hope the fans take away from the new album? Once they pop this in, man, what do you hope that they take away from it?
Man, if they can just listen and relate to it, and the lyrics, you know, like Love, Lies, and Therapy, this record is like definitely a lot of love, a lot of lies, you know, it's a lot of crazy emotions, man, for each song, you know, and it's shit that I went through. It's stuff that I've been through, and we've all been through it. Everybody goes through crazy relationships and cheating and lying and infidelities and all that stuff. And a lot of people go through crazy things, you know, with drugs and addictions. And I think that's what this record is. It's no holds barred there, and that's what you're gonna get, man. And either if someone can relate to it and be affected by it, that's all we care about, man. That's a win for us. You know, we're not saying, you know, we need to sell 100 million records or anything. Right. For us, it's all about the connection and us being able to be creative and do things the way we want to do them musically, and then somebody be affected by it. That's important.
What has adding bassist Brad Stewart brought to this band?
Brad's great. He's awesome. He's unbelievable all around. He's a great human. I think the universe loves him and takes care of him very much. He's one of those guys, man. He's a killer bass player. He's seasoned. You know, he was in Shinedown. He was on the first 2 Shinedown records, and he was with Fuel for the past 5 years. So Brad's been on the road for like 15 years straight, and he actually filled in for Saliva about 7-8 years ago when our old bass player Dave was having a baby and stuff. So Brad's just an all-around good dude. You know, smile on his face the whole time. You know, definitely not a bad thing to say about Brad ever.
What can fans expect at a show from Saliva once they get to see you guys?
High energy, man. You know, every show is like our last. We go out there and we do what we do, and we, you know, you got to go give the kids something to talk about, or, you know, it doesn't mean shit. You know, in my opinion, like you gotta be a good rock band these days to survive.
Do you prefer, or do you guys actually prefer the digital era of music, what we're in right now, as far as like recording and getting music out there, or do you guys prefer just the 2-inch tape way of recording? What's your guys' take on this?
Well, I mean, it's always cool to be like, oh man, yeah, let's go and track on analog and 2-inch tape and stuff. But there's so much outboard gear now, you know, that you can still get that feel for stuff. I don't think it'll ever be the same as, you know, 2-inch tape. I mean, but then again, it's like Coke and Pepsi. It's like the same kind of thing. I mean, it's not really much different. I mean, who really notices it when you listen to a record done on analog or a record done now? I mean, a musician and a producer maybe. I mean, but the average listener doesn't know. They don't understand that, you know? So to me, I think, you know, doing digital, it's a much faster way to create. But analog, it all sounds good, man. All my favorite records were done on analog. So, you know, I'm not saying that, but if we went to make a record and we're like, hey, man, we're going to go do on 2-inch tape, I'm going to be like, okay, cool. That's going to be an extra $50,000 because, A, where are we going to get the 2-inch reel? B, who's going to cut it on all the edits and shit? The days of making those kind of records, they're just not, they're not easy, you know, anymore.
In your own opinion, what does Saliva bring to the table for music, Bobby, that may not be out there as of right now?
You know, I think Saliva has definitely a place in rock, man. You know, the band's got, you know, a legacy. You know, they've been around since 96, 97, you know. The first record came out in 2001, well, the first major, you know, release, and I think a long time, 15-year anniversary, you know, on that record. So a lot has happened. A lot of records have come out, and I think, you know, we're still trucking, you know, still on the tracks, and we're not going anywhere, and, you know, people are still coming to the shows, and people are still giving it a chance. You know, we're just glad that we're able to, you know, put out a new record and share, you know, also the new era of Saliva, you know, because I think that, you know, we were able to do things that the band had never done before as well with this record. You know, there's certain songs on this record that are very, very cool and unique compared to like any other Saliva records, I think, you know. So, and I think that's a great thing, you know, that we were able to do that. But at the same time, it's cool to have those heavy songs to go play live and, you know, kick people in the teeth and stuff. It's great.
What's it mean to you guys when you receive an email from a fan, or prior to your shows or after your shows? Fans come and they tell you guys, hey, look, your music has pulled me through a tough time. It's gave me inspiration, or it's just made me enjoy music just a little bit more better and life. What's it mean to you all?
Oh, dude, it's always a great feeling to know that, you know, your music is affecting somebody, you know, positive. So that's what we do. I mean, that's the reaction you expect, or not. I don't mean that expect, but I'm saying that you want to have. It's like right. That means more than money or any of that stuff, and it really does, I think, because that goes a long way. You know, your money, you're going to blow your money all day long. So there's no money to be made anyway.
That's true. I just got to say, as a fan of your guys' music, thank you all so much. And I've been a fan since day one, since Saliva started. And I'm glad you're filling in. You've got great vocals. Bobby, thank you guys so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Make America Rock Again tour coming up. Saliva's going to be on this. Bobby, how can folks stay in touch with you guys? Buy your merchandise and just keep in touch. How can they do that?
Oh, man, you know, Facebook, you know, all the social media stuff. You know, the record's available at every outlet, you know, every major retail outlet. You know, you can go to Best Buy, Target, order it on Amazon if you don't want to go to the store, you know, any of that stuff. So.
Before I let you go, will you care to do a promo for the show?
Absolutely. What's up, guys? This is Bobby from Saliva, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour. And get out and get Saliva's new album. It's out today. But, hey, don't let today stop you. Get it anytime you can. So, Bobby, thank you so much.
Absolutely, man.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.